I'm sitting on the U-Bahn in Berlin. It is 1995, and the wall had only fallen a few years ago. I look at the man sitting across from me. What is he, 70, 75? I can't help but speculate. Where was he in 1945? What was he doing in Germany at that time? He isn't paying any attention to me. We are, after all, on public transportation. But I wonder if he sees the cloth on my head, a knit kippah attached with 2 silver clips. I didn't regularly wear a kippah in public, but on this visit to Germany, I make a point of it. I want everyone to see, especially the senior citizens, that a Jew is here in their country. We have survived. We have thrived. I wanted to shout, I'm Jewish, I'm proud, I'm loud, and I'm here. 30 years later, a congregant approaches me. They want to speak privately. Discomfort is written on their face, and their entire body shifts anxiously. Rabbi, I know this is an unusual question, but given the potential for violence right now, is it okay if I tuck my Jewish star necklace into my shirt, or even stop wearing it? I'm proud to be Jewish, but I'm afraid. They are Jewish, they are proud, but they want to be quiet and maybe not have people know they are here. In 2025, statistics show that 40% of American Jews have avoided publicly wearing or displaying items that might identify them as a Jew out of fear of anti-Semitism. And they have a real concern. Anti-Semitism has risen 200% in the United States in recent years, and 626% in New York State. In New York City, 54% of all hate crimes are against Jews. Our college campuses have become a breeding ground for Jewish hate. It is a scary time. The stories are endless. For example, Samuel J. Abrams, a professor at Sarah Lawrence College, found swastikas on his office door. When he reported it, the administration told him to make no real issue of it. They were effectively dismissing this act of hate, even as he was being vilified by students and faculty who labeled him as part of a colonial genocidal Jewish people. Numerous Israeli and kosher restaurants have had their windows smashed in, including one on Kristallnacht, the anniversary of the Nazi attack on Jewish life. College campuses have become flashpoints of protest and anger. These incidents include harassment, vandalism, and physical assaults, creating extraordinarily hostile environments for Jewish students. 73% of Jewish students have encountered some form of anti-Semitism over the past 2 years, with many feeling compelled to conceal their Jewish identity to avoid hostility. Members of our temple have shared stories with me of words of hate and rejection, especially since the Hamas attack on Israel on October 7th. Jocelyn Kupperman told me about her friends and neighbors from when she lived in Sunnyside. They would like anti-Israel posts, downplaying the significance of the hostages and denying basic facts directly to her face, even as she has family in Israel right now. Tyler Bogard, who celebrated his bar mitzvah this past April, encountered swastikas and Hail Hitler written on Jewish students' notebooks, often without the school administration showing any genuine concern. Much of the language used is Free Palestine, or that someone is an anti-Zionist. These have become the standard trope that can mean different things. It is one thing to express strong and angry critiques against the actions of the Israeli government for the ongoing war or the abandonment of the hostages. Hundreds of thousands of Israelis do this in protests each week. But that's not what they mean. These words have often become code for the destruction of Israel. They're actively denying the right for a homeland for millions of Jews of safety and protection from decades of attacks from their neighbors. It seems many more people use Free Palestine and anti-Zionist without distinction, without nuance, and as a cover for anti-Semitic hate and violence. Opposition to the Israeli government's actions have become oppositions to Israel's existence. Opposition to Israel means now death to Jews. When I protested apartheid in college, I never called for death to South Africa, let alone to the white people ruling the country. Using the guise of supposed political attacks against Israel, they're actively spouting hatred against all Jews. In Spain, a group of Jewish students received anonymous letters containing Nazi imagery, anti-Israel slogans, and a message reading, "Jewish rats, Palestine will win." A brick was thrown through a kosher restaurant's window in Massachusetts with the words "Free Palestine" on it. Jewish individuals, including students, faculty, and journalists, who express support for Israel or their Jewish identity, have been doxxed or included on online lists that call for their professional blacklisting. They justify it because Jews are Zionists, and these threats have resulted in deadly consequences. The Passover arson attack on the official state residence of Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro, the murders of Yaron Lashinsky and Sarah Lynn Milgram outside a Jewish museum in Washington, D.C., the firebombing of a peaceful march for the hostages in Boulder, Colorado. The threat is clear. The response is too. It is right now, and it is right here. Coming to the high holidays is an act of protest and courage. Joining together as a community, celebrating our Jewish identity, and not just in the synagogue, but everywhere. Finding the courage, the connection to say, I am Jewish, I'm proud, I'm loud, I'm here. None of this makes sense. In 2025, this is not the world we should be facing. This is the story of 80 and 800 years ago, not right now. It's a burden we never should face. It's a horrific lesson for our children that people are opposed to them simply because they are Jewish. It is also an opportunity, and perhaps even an obligation, to burst with Jewish pride. College professor Zahava Feldstein wrote, "If I could tell Jewish students one thing, it would be this. You don't need to shrink yourself to fit someone else's definition of solidarity. You don't have to choose between your people and your conscience. You can carry the whole story, even when it doesn't fit on a protest sign. You can hold the ache and still stand proud." How do we stand proud? We live our Jewish lives. Last Simchat Torah, on the one-year anniversary of the October 7th attacks, we held our holiday celebration because we define our Jewish vibrancy, not our attackers. Be a Jew in the world. Wear a chai or keep a mezuzah on your door. Wear a yellow ribbon or a blue square. Come to services, bake a challah, hold holiday dinners, learn Torah, visit Israel, march and protest. We risk insult. We risk verbal assault. We risk more. But we must continue to be loud and proud. Rabbi Jonathan Sachs once said that by living your full Jewish life, you are denying your enemies a victory. You are declaring that you will not be intimidated. We can cry Gewalt and bemoan the world we are faced with, or we can make our Jewish soul burst with joy. Or as better put by the author Sarah Hurwitz, anti-Semitism happens as a result of a lot of conditions. Jews don't control it. We can fight it, and I think that's great, and I respect that. But I think instead of trying to bail out a tsunami with buckets, we should also build an ark. This year, in spite of everything, or because of everything, create a Jewish world of joy and connection for yourself, your family, and the Jewish community. I asked our members Jocelyn Kupperman and Tyler Bogard what they thought our community should do in the face of anti-Semitism. Jocelyn said, "I understand the fear and even the hiding, but I am going the opposite. I want to start stacking multiple Judaica necklaces or putting more mezuzahs on the door. For those who need support, I'd like to talk with them. Let's grab a coffee. It's time to create community. Hiding only takes our light away. And as we shared on Rosh Hashanah, this is a time to be our lighthouse." Tyler wears his Judaism as a badge of honor. "I'm a proud Jew," he told me. "I don't care. I wear my chai everywhere. In the US, when I was in France, I would never take it off. I'm not afraid to be a Jew. I don't ever want to be afraid to be one. At his bar mitzvah, I called him a loud and proud Jew, and he means it. When faced with the pain of seeing swastikas at school, he said we should deal with it, be willing to walk away. It hurts, but deal with it. Thank you for being here today and celebrating who you are, who our people have been, and all that we have yet to do. The ongoing burden faced by the Jewish people has been enduring hatred over the centuries. Yet from that struggle, our success, commitment to life, and creativity have always emerged. As Rabbi Sachs said, Jews have survived catastrophe after catastrophe. Every tragedy in Jewish history was followed by a new wave of creativity. Let us stand unintimidated, and let us stand together. Or in other words, we are Jewish. We're loud. We're proud. We're here. Shana Tova.